Good afternoon. My name's Darren Crawley. I'm the Partner Account Manager for Cloud for Partners here at Ascari. I would like to welcome you to our monthly partner webinar, which today is run in conjunction with our friends at Pepperi. Before I hand you over to Tal, who's presenting to you today, I just wanted to remind you of a few housekeeping rules. The webinar today is due to last for between 20 to 30 minutes. All delegates are currently on mute, and we will have the facility during the course of both the presentation and demo to enable questions to be asked. If you go to the interface for GoToWebinar, you'll notice there's a chat box and also a questions section in the interface where you can type any questions in. And what we'll do at the end of the session for the last 5 to 10 minutes, we'll read through any questions or comments and enable Tal to offer any further insight as required. So I'll just run through the agenda for today. As you can see, there's a number of areas that Tal will run through, including an overview of the B2B e-commerce platform, as well as looking at how their Salesforce automation applications also offer value to customers. There's also a very brief demo of the B2B e-commerce platform, as well as some insight into how portals and dashboards can help your customers to truly get the most out of the offering. Finally, we'll show you how easy it is to actually administer the portal itself. And like I said, we'll just wrap up with a brief Q&A at the end of the session. So what I'd like to do now is hand the presentation over to Tal. Tal is the Regional Business Director for Pepperi, and basically he'll take over the remainder of the presentation.
Good afternoon, everybody. Very nice to meet you. As Darren said, with that glorious introduction, my name's Tal. I'm the Regional Sales Director for Pepperi. Business Director, Sales Director, we all know it's the same thing. I'm actually responsible for Pepperi's business in the UK, in Ireland, and in a few other countries around the world. And I am also responsible for our channel partners in these regions as well. So as Darren said, I'm here to show you a little bit more, give you a bit of a taste of Pepperi, what we're all about, how we help customers, and in more particular, how we help partners achieve more as well. So to get started, just a few slides. I promise I won't bore you with too many, and then we'll be on to the demonstration. Pepperi's been around for around 8 years. We have customers in over 70 countries, over 1,000 customers, in fact, many of them enterprises. We have over 100 employees in 3 offices around the world, in New York, in Israel, and in Australia. In the UK, we operate from Israel, but I'm obviously British, so I'm there a lot. And we concentrate on providing our solutions to CPG-based companies. What do I mean by that? I mean any brand, any wholesaler that has a packaged good of some kind, whether it be, as you can see on the screen, Coca-Cola, or perhaps Hallmark, one of our largest customers, Kimberly-Clark, obviously another huge enterprise. And what you'll see here are many different logos which you recognize in many different industries, whether it's watches, jewelry, healthcare, food, drinks, eyewear, fashion, beauty, etc. So it really doesn't matter what the industry is, as long as they sell a packaged good of some kind and have sales reps or need an online presence for B2B. So to just go through that in a bit more detail, we have the B2B commerce platform, highly regarded as the best in the world, and also by Gartner. And this is what we actually focus on. So first of all, we have native apps built for iOS and Android. We are device agnostic, and our primary functions are for order taking for sales reps, or for retail execution, which is a fancy word for merchandising, or for actually van sales, so companies that sell from the van, like drinks companies, for example. All of this, as I said, is available through our app. Our app works completely online and offline, so we have a fully functional offline mode that actually enables the user to use all of the business process, all of the programming that is available also when they're offline. In addition, we have a fully functional, with all the features you can imagine, promotions, campaigns, discounts, all of that kind of thing built into our B2B e-commerce solution, which is all part of the same platform. So implementing it is very simple. And then we also have, through our web application, additional features for perhaps inside salespeople, for perhaps support people, perhaps marketing, and of course management can also get access to the Pepperi portal and to our dashboards and BI, all through the web application. I know it's a lot to take in, so I just want to break it down a little bit more. And really, it's like this. So if you think about any B2B style company, if we take Coca-Cola, for example, with many different functions in their B2B side of the business, this might be field sales. Of course, it would be. They would also have merchandisers going and checking store layout, checking stock, creating orders perhaps. There's management that obviously need to see reports and dashboards. There's telesales staff that need to take orders very quickly and very efficiently over the phone. There's also support staff that need to perhaps query certain orders or inventory or items or handle returns or other kind of functionality. And then, of course, Coca-Cola's customers also want to order either through the web or through an application. So that's all through our B2B e-commerce. So really, it's any business application within the B2B commerce side of the business. The actual platform is renowned because it's so easy to configure. So it's all done online. It's a cloud solution, which perhaps I should have said earlier. We're completely based in the cloud on Amazon Web Services. So irregardless of where the user is, he's going to get great service. He's going to get a great, a speedy response from the application. And the actual back office of the application is very easy to configure. As I mentioned, we also support any mobile device with very fast and optimized synchronization of data as well. I can see there's a question. Just let me open this. Okay. In terms of our SAP experience, we have over 150 customers using SAP integration with our product, or the other way around, our product integrated into SAP. In fact, we are pretty much ERP agnostic, as long as it's an ERP that can import and export, but we have a huge amount of experience in large customers or middle to large customers that have SAP, any type of SAP, of course, Business One as well. And so we're obviously very well versed in these kind of projects. We also encourage our partners to actually take the ownership on implementation of Pepperi, so that, of course, they can support that customer going forward, make changes, and obviously investigate any issues that arise in the integration or in the configuration of Pepperi. If I just carry on just a moment. So some of our partners around the world, these are our Business One partners anyway. Obviously, Ascari, relatively new, but working on many opportunities, and many other partners here around the world. Really, it's any partner that needed a mobility solution, that wanted to enhance their offering and offer a more diverse offering than just the ERP, but actually a very high-level mobile solution or a mobility solution on top. And we'll talk a bit more about that differentiation later. So in terms of the kind of customers that Pepperi's targeted at, and I'm sure all of you have some of these industries as your customers. So it's really anything, as I mentioned, that sells a consumer packaged good, but also some others like perhaps pharmaceutical, chemicals. We have customers in all of these areas, and so it really doesn't limit you to any specific industry. So just a few words about partnering with Pepperi. we truly believe, and I know this is a cliche, and we've all heard it before, a win-win situation. But without this win-win situation, we wouldn't exist. Without our partners, we wouldn't exist. We're not certainly not an SAP size company, and we don't intend to be. We like to be small and agile, even though 100 people today isn't small, but still, we believe that our partners need to offer more than just the ERP today. And this comes up time and time again, where our partner wins a project because they provided a solution over and above just the ERP. So it could be Pepperi, it could be another add-on, another enhancement. But having that stronger offering that's going to cater for more parts of the business, not just the IT department, is something that's very, very helpful in winning the deal. So to existing customers, of course, it helps you lock in that customer, increase your value, and also extend your footprint there as well. So of course you're making yourself much more sticky, as they say, within that customer. And of course, there's the very important fact of increasing your revenue streams. Pepperi, is a software as a service, so it's ongoing revenue, just like Business One. Usually the numbers only grow, so there's added features that the customer wants, there's added users that the customer wants to enable Pepperi with. So yeah, it's a great additional revenue stream as well, and of course services revenue. Once you're trained in installing Pepperi, it's very easy to then charge your own service fees for your projects. There's a lot on this page, so just in general, we provide a full support for our partners, and this includes commercial support, marketing support, of course, all of the collateral, everything else that's needed. We actually go to events together with partners as well, and we have a full technical department for our partners, 6-day support, 24 hours, and also PS support for specific projects. So I'm just going to open up my demo now, just a moment. If there's any questions, feel free. Should see my iPad on the screen any moment. Okay, so I'm actually already into the Pepperi app. You can see it down here at the bottom. As I mentioned, it works online and offline. All of the data it needs, all of the process and the built-in technology is downloaded to the app, so it isn't calling the server for queries, for information from the database, etc. Everything's downloaded locally. And I'm going to just give you a quick walkthrough of what a sales rep would do. Now, one important thing about Pepperi, which I'm sure you've realized, is that we can handle multiple profiles of different kinds of user. So I'm currently logged in as a sales rep because a sales rep typically has access to all of the features. So if I start my day as a sales rep, I'm going to click on my accounts. I can see a list of my accounts alphabetically. I can see them according to my current location. I can see them on the map as well. If we just go over to Europe, we'll see lots of demo customers. And I can filter this list by any account property or from the business partner properties. I can filter accordingly. Now, don't forget, we're fully integrated with SAP. So all of this information in terms of customers, items, pricing, history, orders, whatever it is, contracts, whatever it might be, that's all brought in from SAP. And any orders taken in Pepperi are duly sent back to SAP if the app is online or when the user's device gets back online. I also have a built-in calendar function. I can plan activities. I can see my route of activities on the map and very easily then go to one, see the activity details. I can actually edit the activity to complete any questions around the activity if there's kind of a report there, a form that's built in. And many things here are configurable. So lots of the layouts and everything else are configurable, and I'll show you that soon. In fact, I'm not sure if anyone realized, but on our front page of the presentation, we have our slogan, which is, if you can dream it, we can configure it, because we truly are the most configurable solution out there. And we get so many weird and wonderful requests from our customers that we implement them. And so this means our cloud solution has become so feature rich and so configurable that it really does suit any kind of customer, whether it's a huge enterprise or a smaller business. From here, I can do various things. I can go into the account information page, which is again just information pulled in from SAP. And this, like any other form, is completely configurable. I can change the layout. I can have as many UDFs as I like here. We can show here multiple drop locations. We can show here multiple contact people. Of course, I can click on any of these and then dial email from here as well, all within the application. If I then go into a particular customer, we're now seeing the account dashboard. This is what we call the sales rep's 360-degree view, where he can see previous orders. He can see this in a graphical view. As you can see, this scroll bar, these are all the previous activities with this account, whether it's an order, a report, a photo taken, a customer B2B order, which we can see with these ones with a hand underneath. Or, of course, we can see this in a table format. And then we can, of course, drill down into any of these. So if I just want to see that last order that the customer made before perhaps I go in to see the customer, I can see that in detail right there. I can also see various other business information, such as the top items of the account, such as perhaps targets, or performance against targets by brand. This is all just configuration. So really, it depends on what the customer feels is important for them to see. We then have above that a toolbar. So this is to create new activities of various kinds. These are either different transactions. We can have unlimited types of transactions. Typically, customers need a sales transaction, a return transaction, perhaps a quotation, or perhaps a replenishment order, which would look at previous stock and create an order automatically. Lots of different things we can do there. Each transaction completely configurable. In terms of layout, process, approval, everything really that you can imagine. I know I'm going fast and I apologize, but to get all of this in half an hour is pretty difficult. Going into the sales order, let's just very quickly show you the product catalog. We can see here we can have multiple categories or brands depending on how the customer works. We can also see many different views here. These are all configurable in terms of the layout, the data, the fields that are displayed, and of course, items down to the level of how much discount can a rep provide, what's the maximum ordering quantity or case quantities or whatever it might be. In fashion and in many other industries, we also need a matrix of items with different sizes, different colors. As you can see here, this is actually a flat matrix, but then we see in a grid matrix, we can see here lots of different information, if I like, as well, per SKU. So that's all available, and then I can just select what I'm looking for, or I can select a pre-pack for the whole line, if I like, as well. Let's just do one more thing here. Look for some promotional items. We can handle any kind of promotion. Actually, don't have any right now, but we can handle any kind of promotion, whether it's bundling of items, whether it's individual item promotions, whether it's buy this item, get a different item for free or for discount, whatever it might be. We're now into processing the order. We can take a customer signature. We can go to the order details form. We can then submit the order, and the order gets processed immediately. So very quick look there as to what a sales rep can do. There's more, such as him seeing all of his activities, such as the sales rep having a dashboard, which I'll just show you very quickly, where he can see his performance against targets, his overall sales position year on year, month on month, and this is all configurable as well. So hopefully that's a good overview for you. Let me just go back to here. And now I'm going to skip to our web application. So in our web app, we have many different things available. And one of those, and probably our most important feature in the web app, is the B2B e-commerce app. So here, a customer can apply this add-on to our solution or different element of our solution, and enable their customers to place orders online. Obviously B2B customers, because every customer needs to have his own card or account in the ERP, in SAP. So a customer can see his order history. This is again all configurable in terms of the columns showing, in terms of the data showing, what type of activities or transactions the customer would like to show their customer. The customer can drill down into these just by clicking on one, of course, and see this, and then export, download to Excel, to PDF, etc. All of this is already generated, so it's just a question of downloading the file. Let's just wait a second, and it'll download, as we can see here. Okay, and that's all configurable as well, like any form or any file is all configurable. In terms of placing an order, it's very simple, as I'm sure you can imagine. And this is our web app also, by the way, is configurable in terms of the images, in terms of the layout of certain elements. We can also create a banner across the top and a different menu, but this is our typical package where we have the menu down the left-hand side. We have categories within that, and then a smart search down on the bottom left there. And here we can see various things. If I click on the item details, we can see all the information the customer provides about the item. We can also can handle high-res images, etc. So even for jewelry and things like that, we're good. And then in terms of placing an order, it's a very simple process, just like you've seen already. Let's just go back here. Okay, I'm just going to skip that for the moment and show another element, which I think is very appropriate, and that is our manager's application, or any internal user that needs to also get access to various elements of the tool. So we're looking at now a demo with lots of different functionality, but let's say I was someone who approves the orders that are coming in. So I would have an approval button. We then go into the need approval thing here. We can see the different orders that need approval, and I can very easily click on this order, open it, and then go to approve, or edit the order, of course, or do many different things. I can add products to here, and then I can click approve in the top right, as you can see. There's other things here, such as dashboards, reports. For example, if a manager would like to see various reports, these can be configured very easily. They're now up and away, so I can see here lots of different reports. Perhaps I just want to see the sales orders that are coming. I can see these sales orders. Perhaps I'd like to see activities that users have been doing. So I'm able to do that as well and see their activities, where they've been exactly. I can even see that on a map and see where my team have been. So very handy for a sales manager. Okay, and I did promise to show a bit about the back office. So I'll do that now. Apologies for the delay. That's the one. So the back office is used to be our web admin for the sales managers. It's not anymore. Now we just have the configuration element. And here, as you'll see, everything's web-based, everything's drag and drop. You don't need to know any code. You just need to know where to find things in Pepperi. Let me just close this. Okay, so, for example, if I wanted to change the layout that a rep sees in the catalog, I can just very easily delete fields here, add new fields, change what they're called very, very quickly, and I'm done. So very easy to do, and then hit save at the bottom. And then that's going to be published to everyone's app. So that's just a simple, very simple change, but even deep level changes are very simple as well. One little element I didn't mention that I would like to mention is the business policy engine or business rule engine. This means we can create advanced rules that use any UDT data or any data from SAP or from Pepperi to create a business process within the ordering process. For example, any order over a certain amount would get a notification to say, if you would order a bit more, you'll get a discount. Or perhaps if you'd like to restrict bad orders, such as orders that are too small, not the right type of product, etc. So many different things we can do. It's really, this is the kind of demo that would take an hour to an hour and a half. And I really truly hope that some of you, if not all of you, are already thinking of potential customers that need a mobility solution, or that have, let's say, a weaker one, or that you'd like to approach, or perhaps prospects that have mentioned that they're also looking for a Salesforce automation or a mobility or a B2B e-commerce type of solution in addition to SAP or any other ERP. I'll be very happy to help, to get involved, provide demos, proposals, etc. I'd be very happy to get any questions, and I think I'm going to hand back over to Darren. So thank you very much for your time. Hope you found it informative, and I hope to be talking again with you soon.
Thank you, Tal. That was a comprehensive walk around the different application areas, and certainly very insightful. What I'd like to do now is just open the floor to any further questions. So if you bear with me, we'll have a look to see if anyone's actually typed anything in, and obviously then we can answer any questions accordingly. So I've got notification here that there is a question. Right, okay. So Anand Bahar has asked, can you give some examples of customers, particularly larger customers in the UK? How long does it take to implement a project? And do you have customers in the chemical industry and any spare parts or tooling industries? I think there's several questions in one place, but thank you, Arnaud. Could Tal maybe sort of shed some light on that?
Yeah, certainly. So first of all, some of our largest customers in the world are, as you saw on the slide earlier on, Kimberly-Clark's one of our biggest. Hallmark in the UK was our biggest until recently, until Kimberly-Clark came along. Interestingly, Hallmark have been with us really from the beginning. They have now around 1,000 merchandisers and sales reps going around the country, organizing cards in all those slots that you see in WH Smith's and other card shops. And they're a real, a great customer, because they've really come along with us throughout the process of developing our app to the level it's at now, and they're a very happy customer as well. I think the second question was around projects. So yeah, good question that. Projects typically take between 2 and 3 months. Obviously that varies, and you do get some customers which are very, very deep. And very, very unusual, let's say, in how they use SAP and how they'd like to categorize the sales rep's usage of the product, and make that different for each rep and for each region and for each customer. And so that's all possible. But of course, the more requirements there are, the more things take time, as you all know, being SAP specialists. But yeah, a quick project can be done in a couple of months. And when I say a couple of months, I mean a couple of months calendar time. I actually mean in terms of days, between 10 and 15 days for a simple project work. For a larger project, we could be looking at 30, 40, 50, even 100 days for a more significant project, like perhaps where we've done with a large drinks manufacturer or someone like that. The last question, I believe, was around tools and like chemicals. So yeah, we have customers worldwide like Motul, the motor oil company. If anyone watches Formula One, then I'm sure they would have seen them, or drives a motorbike. So Motul, one of the largest and highly regarded performance oil companies in the world, they're using us in Asia. We have, in terms of other customers like that, we have a company in the US called Windsor, one of the biggest machine parts companies in the world, with 500 sales reps in the US using our solution. And there's many more. I actually can't think of any more right now, but yeah, pick an industry and we'll find someone who's using it for you.
Excellent, thank you, Tal. That was some good insight there. I'm not getting any further indications that there's questions from the floor, but thank you very much, obviously, for answering that question from Arnaud. Hopefully that answers. Yes, that's great. So thank you very much for your time today, Tal. It's been very interesting seeing how the different areas of application that you offer, whether it's the B2B e-commerce platform, or whether it's to do with the field sales automation, how all these things come together and help partners to offer a more comprehensive solution to their B1 customers. I think certainly there's lots of opportunities out there, and we'd certainly be interested in seeing how that develops for you. Just a quick reminder, we run this as a monthly webinar. It's the final Wednesday of each month, and it gives our partners the opportunity to look at how different applications and software providers can actually help extend B1 further to make it more relevant to their customers. If you'd like to keep an eye on our social media links, we use both LinkedIn and Twitter to publicize further webcasts, then please feel free to do so. In addition, if there are any further questions off the back of today's event, you can either contact Tal directly, or you can come through to info@ascari.com, and just like to ask for Darren Crawley. I'm sure we can get our heads together and answer any questions post-event. And in the meantime, I'd just like to thank Tal for your time today. Really appreciate the input there. It's a great presentation and good demo. I love the tablet piece. And what I'll also do is wish all of our delegates a great day wherever you are, and we look forward to you joining our next webinar, which is the final Wednesday of next month, February. Thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you, everyone, for joining.